Welcome to a 2v2 on Einhoven County, right? Okay. Einhoven Country. Excuse me. Einhoven Country. This game is going to be Davschutt1 Rounce playing as mixed allies versus Patrickzwang and Wanderer playing as mixed axis in the north. All four factions will be represented this game. Going to see Armor Company selected quite quickly there by Rounce so that he can field two quick squads of Assault Engineers. Interesting, trying to take advantage of some short-range engagement opportunities over here. He will be spotted by those piles before he can close the distance. They'll reposition to safety after successfully capturing that munitions point. Assault Engineers move up to take control of that munitions now. The other squad taking a position in green cover while rear echelons work on the victory point over there. Meanwhile, on the left side, conscripts making their way to take control of the strategic point and victory points.
Conscripts have arrived.
Cover being constructed here on the north fuel. Axis are definitely going to have to make a play to get that fuel back under their control. Currently focusing most of their forces in this general area. Battle group headquarters going up in this location. That's a pretty aggressive placement. They're going to need to successfully screen that until it finishes building. Looks like they'll be able to. I don't think the Allies have spotted that. Although if those assault engineers catch it in progress with those two squads, I don't know. He might have vision right now. Yes, he does. Oh, where's he going? He needs to move to fire on that before it completes. What's he waiting for? Doesn't he see this? He wants to wipe that squad. I don't know if I feel like that's really worth it. I mean, he's going to win this engagement, but he had a golden opportunity to destroy that. He does get a squad wipe, though. Nice play by Rounce. I like this flanking maneuver he did with the assault engineers. He's getting a lot of manpower bleed inflicted. It's a shame he didn't take that thing out, though. MG42 should not get in this building, taking heavy damage from assault engineers. That grenadier squad barely survived. Alright, never mind. They're going to retreat immediately upon receiving support from this flamethrower squad. Nice play by the flamethrowers. Apparently Rounce going with the good old Red Wings build of 4 squads of assault engineers. There's a lot of short-range engagement opportunities on this map, as we've seen. So he's going to have to continue to take full advantage of that if he doesn't want to take massive manpower bleed. We're probably going to want to see some flamethrowers soon as well. That squad is going to be forced to retreat. Combat engineers are going to retreat as well. So wagon making its way over here to the left side. Stern Pioneers have chased away all Soviet forces in that area. Battle group headquarters is done, and the forward retreat point is being unlocked now. Giant assault engineer blob is making its way up the left side. We'll wipe that if it doesn't retreat. That was a late retreat. It looks like it's going to get away, though. Assault engineers apparently not that great at chasing retreating squads. It gets away. Anti-tank grenades catch that Kuba wagon way out of position, though. That's going to be destroyed. Volksgrenadiers also being forced to reposition back to safety against this quantity of conscripts. No losses on any of these squads yet. Whoa! Look at that blob, though, catching him on the retreat. Oh, no! Dealing huge damage even to that retreating squad, barely getting away. They're going to walk right into that MG42, though. Once this blob gets suppressed, that's going to get shut down and forced to retreat. Plus, lots of grenadiers available over here to bleed their advance. Still, could be a wipe. Kind of a late retreat. It's going to get away. Full retreat there by Rounce. That was kind of a scary assault engineer blob. Fortunately, the MG42 in the house gives the Axis a little bit of breathing room. Meanwhile, the left side is going to get harassed by all of these conscripts making my way back over there. This force of Volksgrenadiers making its way back away from the battle group headquarters towards the left to try and harass this territory. There's a demo charge right there. That would be devastating, but we've got the minesweeper now on that. Sternpile squad, he'll probably be able to catch that before his entire blob explodes. Grenadier squad is so close to the demo charge, but they'll be okay for now. Conscripts engaging at range, trying to bleed those Sturms. Volksgrenadiers moving up to support. Nice use of cover here by these conscripts, spread out nicely as well at this range. Volksgrenadiers will win the engagement eventually, but the allies are going to be able to stall for territory for some time. This squad of Volksgrenadiers moving into cover here to flank them. These two squads circling back around the north to try and counter, at least for a little while. Kind of a scary retreat path here for that squad with Stern Pioneers in the retreat path. Decent chance of them getting wiped. Stern Pioneers move to chase, bringing the squad low. They have to reload. Looks like they're going to get away. Meanwhile, over here on the right side, the Assault Engineer blob has reconstituted itself and is making a push towards the MG42, splitting his forces up into two groups. Tanking fire over here on the right side, although they actually make it past without getting suppressed and force a retreat from that Grenadier squad. Captain moving up here on the munitions. Flamethrower here on the south is about to start bursting the MG42 down. So much red cover in this area. He does get suppressed. And two squads here in the north, though. One MG42 simply cannot withstand this without support. That's going to get wiped. Down it goes. Volksgrenadiers and Grenadiers moving to support again. Huge opportunity for Rounce if he wipes this. He doesn't see it through the fog of war currently, I don't think, though. Yes, he does. He totally does see that. Demo charge just went off over there. I don't know if that got anything. No. Caught by the stern piles right there. And those Assault Engineers had a chance to destroy this, but they just don't do it. I don't know why. He could have totally caught that building. Now he's taking a ton of damage from the flat cannon. One squad loses its flamethrower, has to retreat. Another squad forced to retreat here. The Stewart that just hit the field won't be able to do anything now that this has been built. What a lost opportunity. 3 squads of Assault Engineers wiped on the retreat. Good Lord. Terrible engagement by Rounce. He had so much potential there, and not only did he not capitalize on it, he let all of his infantry die. Pretty painful losses. He's going to spend his current manpower reserves on some fresh AT guns. He's going to try and put pressure on the structure there with that. Conscripts and PTRS guards trying to hold the line against the advancing Volksgrenadier blob.
Anti-tank gun, ready for action.
Rifle grenade forces a retreat from those guard rifles. Heavy mortar gets a nice hit, but it's not enough to save that Stewart. It will be destroyed.
Vehicle just got destroyed.
And those two Volksgrenadiers are made to retreat.
AT gun, ready. The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points. Contact! Ground infantry! The Rounce are sniffing around our asses. Tactical point being captured. Squad is back to full strength.
Rear echelons will be made to retreat from the right side. Volksgrenadiers taking the strategic point. These two squads going to get the munitions back under control. Left side munitions has been taken by these conscripts, but they're about to get pushed away by this force. Stuff. Heavy mortar on the field from the Soviets is bombarding the tier 4 structure, but it's been fully repaired for now. Conscripts engaging these infantry will be forced away as the Sturm Pioneers close the gap. 2 more conscripts moving up to support in the engagement rather than harassing the left side. The left side is still completely undefended right now. That will be a pretty good opportunity for the Soviet player to capitalize on. The 2 anti-tank guns which have been fielded are moving up, trying to take out that structure. Having trouble securing vision. Combat engineers trying to provide vision. Meanwhile, the heavy mortar is pounding away at all these infantry. They're taking a lot of damage. 1 AT gun has been cleared. Captain might consider recrewing this. There he goes. Recrews that. Combat engineers continue to take a lot of damage, trying to provide vision so that those AT guns can pound away at this structure. It's at about 2/3. They need to keep shooting, though. Axis having trouble screening away this anti-tank gun push, but at the same time, Osterter mortars is bleeding those AT guns hard, decrewing them twice. Captain is moving up, exposing himself to significant danger just to provide vision on that Tier 4 structure, and he gets wiped by flak bursts. Meanwhile, Soviet heavy mortars destroying infantry formations by the battle group headquarters. He's got 2 of these. They're dealing a ton of damage. This one's got 8 kills already, continues to bombard this area. 1 heavy mortar on those Sturm Pios threatens to wipe that squad. Huge counterattack right here. There's a demo charge right in the middle of this infantry cluster. Oh no! Oh no, that demo charge wipes so much. Only 2 grenadiers remain. Patrickzwang's entire army just exploded everywhere. Beautiful defensive demo charge there by Davschutt. Oh no, it doesn't even matter though. These Axis forces are overwhelming the Allied defenses here. This AT gun's been cleared, this one's been cleared. Rounce desperately trying to hold the line with 1 flamethrower and some rear echelons, but he's not going to be able to. So everything has to make a full retreat.
Area secure! Panzer Fusiliers assigned to the front. Target captured. No enemy contact.
Oh. MG42 firing on those guards. The heavy mortars here should be able to do a lot of significant pressure on this area, but the Allies have to defend against counterattack. That demo charge went a very long way. It went a very long way, but the Allies have taken really just terrible losses. They need to get their team weapons recrewed. One of them just got salvaged over here, I think, so won't be able to recover that. We will see a harassment attempt for the left side, plus a stolen LMG-42. Letting those conscripts will help a lot as well. The Axis are harassing over here on the right, completely undefended. I think there was a demo charge over here, but it's gone now. Axis have excellent map control. The Allies need to change that. They really do. These heavy mortars seem to be the best mechanism with which to execute that plan for now. They can just keep on landing beautiful hits on these clumped Axis infantry, especially on the battle group headquarters or on the Sturms repairing the Tier 4. They have to screen away counterattack. They need machine guns or something to screen away this counterattack. There's one, stolen MG42. Nice placement. It's not succeeding in suppressing everything though, just 1 squad. They need more infantry, more machine guns, more stuff to keep the counterattack at bay. They don't have a whole lot of forces left of their own. Soviet player has actually a pretty healthy infantry force, but most of it is tied up in the left side, taking control of the territory over there.
Target vehicle marking available.
Put down your tools and get
Mines being planted over here. Combat engineers. Flamethrower engaging these infantry. The engagement will go to the Axis unless something terrible happens. Grenade gets tossed just to seal the deal, trying to oorah to safety. Maybe you can bait him over some mines or something. If there were demo charge in this corridor, that would be devastating, but he hasn't had time to plant one, unfortunately. He's trying to engage as effectively as he can with the flamethrower through the trees, but he will be forced to retreat eventually. Bulldozer on the field from the American player. also got commander selections, obviously Davschutt1 with guard motor coordination for the heavy mortar. Wanderer obviously was fun breakthrough for the Panzer Fusiliers. No tier 4 units from him, by the way. He built this tier 4 structure, and the only thing he's used it for is just as this forward defensive position, and it's clearly been pretty effective in that role so far. But if he wants to get any units out of it, he should probably do it right now, because it doesn't look like it's going to last much longer with AT guns firing on the Panzer IV right there, pushing that away. Bulldozer continuing to bombard this structure. It looks like it's going to go down without him ever getting out his Panther, which I assume is what he was going for.
Infantry Cooper lost.
Bring the gun around!
Incoming fire!
Enemy is alerted to a presence. Prepare for counter-strike.
Bulldozer firing on these two squads. Oh. Doesn't get a shot off there. Continues to close the gap. Bulldozer needs to pull back for repairs. Again, the AT guns have been cleared, and again, the Axis counterattack has been sufficient to keep that tier 4 structure alive just a little longer. And these two trucks are the centerpiece of the Axis defense here. If those two trucks were to fall, I don't think the Axis would be able to hold any longer. It is critical that these two trucks stay alive if they're going to keep Allied attack out of the center. Fortunately, there's going to be a little bit of alleviation from the pressure. Now, great map harassment on the flanks by the Axis. The Allies will have no choice but to go get those territories back under control. It'll pull a lot of pressure off the tier 4 structure. Anti-tank gun placement will push away the bulldozer for repairs. Volksgrenadiers also moving up to... Uh-oh, what's that M10 doing? That's a dead M10. Those Volksgrenadiers would shoot at it. Grenade toss on the heavy mortar first. They're just shooting at the heavy mortar. Why would they not fire at the M10 right there? Okay, well... M10 gets away clean, and a set of T-3485s has been deployed to force those infantry away. Might see that one-man squad get wiped right here. They are getting pretty aggressive in front of that anti-tank gun, which is now Vet 1, giving it access to target weak point. If one of these gets stunned in front of this blob, it'll probably die. AT gun was a little too slow to rotate. Infantry moving up from the south will get suppressed by the flag HQ, and they will be pushed off the field. And Wanderer has the resources for a Panther. He hasn't queued anything up yet, though. Still spending a lot of resources on reinforcement. And he's actually going for King Tiger. He just built a mechanized regiment headquarters, so he's just going to go straight for KT, which means it won't even really matter if his tier 4 gets destroyed. Again, not a single tier 4 unit produced. No Panzer II, no Overs, no Panther, no Sturm Tiger, so just going to go straight for King Tiger and using this purely as a defensive position and nothing else. And there's really nothing wrong with that. Clearly, it's serving in that role extremely effectively this game. It's too bad you can't see a kill counter on this. That would be kind of interesting. Pack howitzer is going to bombard that structure. Light damage to it from range. And we finally have a commander selection from Patrickzwang. He has Gunjäger armor, so he, I guess, wants the Stuka dive bomb so that he can blast the heavy mortars, maybe blast the pack howitzer, just try and deal some damage from range, or maybe he just wants the elephant. The elephant probably performs quite well on this map. There's a lot of long-range engagement potential in this field, especially if the Allies continue to engage from this direction. That elephant is going to have a great time engaging at that range. anti-tank gun's been recruited. The heavy mortars have moved up to fire on the Tier 4 structure again. Anti-tank gun gets taken out, but Kettenwerfer, I think, or no, Stolen American AT gun. Stolen American AT gun with Panzerschreck support will take out the bulldozer. With that bulldozer destroyed, a lot of pressure will be removed from this Tier 4 structure. It is falling kind of low, but the Soviet heavy mortars are firing equally on that area, and the infantry formations, I think, trying to get that thing taken out. They are bringing it very low. M10's trying to move up to assist. Assault engineers providing vision. Pack howitzer bombarding from range. It looks like that's finally going to go down. Just one more shot from anything. There it goes. T-3485 from the right side finishes it off. Sustained just pressure, just constant pressure from the Allies. Attacking that position just proves too much for the Axis to deal with, because they don't have a solution for these heavy mortars and they can't get anything behind enemy lines to clear that up. Meanwhile, the left side is unharassed. Probably need to send one squad over there to try and apply some victory point pressure and get the Axis attention away from the center if at all possible, but they are engaging quite nicely by bombarding this area with heavy mortars. Let's just check kill counts. 23 kills. Ooh, that pack howitzer hit too. Pack howitzer just got 3 kills.
Just got a report of an infantry unit being wiped out.
That's the only kills it has. It's killed nothing until it wiped a full squad, which I think is kind of funny considering this patch is supposed to be more consistent. I'm not saying that shouldn't have happened though. That squad was extremely low health and clumped. That's basically a perfect example of artillery doing what it's supposed to. Not perfectly reasonable. Elephant is on the field here from Patrickzwang. Again, on this map at this ranges, it should perform nicely, but not a whole lot of flank protection right now. One AT gun getting recruited. It's going to be a little bit vulnerable to medium armor swarms. There is one P4, some grenadiers, and a Jagdtiger on the field. I think, right? Is that a Jagdtiger? Yeah, it's a Jagdtiger. Didn't go KT, went Jagd instead. I feel like that was a mistake. I think they only need one super duper long range tank destroyer without a KT, without something with a turret, like a Panther or something. And King Tiger would have made a lot more sense. Elephant and Jagdtiger will be very vulnerable to medium armor swarms, but if they can just out micro and outsmart their opponents with mines, flank protection from AT guns, Panzerschrecks and stuff, probably be okay. But neither of those units is a solution to these heavy mortar. How stupid dive bomb is though. That was a lay retreat. No, there goes one of them. I thought he was gonna place it between the two, but he decided to destroy the weapon entirely rather than try and just wipe both of the infantry formations. And that probably makes sense. That way it can't be recruited, has to be repurchased completely. Finally gets rid of that thing. Battle Group Headquarters falling low. There are Sturmpios on the field, but they're working on that Panzer IV first. Battle Group Headquarters goes down. The Axis are not going to be able to hold the center. There's no way. Elephant is moving up to take shots at something. I don't even know what it's shooting at. No priority targets immediately in front of it except its T-34, which will have to take a different route if it wants to engage. Jagdtiger similarly defending the area. Make it extremely dangerous. RNG bombs just got dropped on the Jagdtiger though, I think. Some of this stuff should probably move. I feel like, I don't know where that barrage was centered. Second shell doesn't do that much damage. Just standing in RNG bombs is asking for trouble though. Hope it doesn't land like right here. It's just bled this Grenadier squad, not done much beyond that. We need to continue moving out of that ability's range though. That's what happens if you stand in RNG bombs. Full squad just got wiped just because they're just too lazy to leave the strike zone. Ooh, nice mine placement right there. Catches that Panzer IV, destroying its engine. Not a whole lot available from the Allies to follow up except for one T-34. That should be sufficient though. Unfortunately, 2 Panzerschrecks currently protecting its flank. I don't know if those conscripts are gonna be able to stick around. Nope, just took huge losses from that Panzer IV shot. T-34 moves up from the front instead of from behind, and its shot bounces. The anti-tank gun is positioned here to support the engagement. Molotov will prevent repairs. Sturm Pioneers have to be very careful though. Lots of shots bouncing on the Panzer IV, but that AT gun will not move up to screen. If that AT gun would have moved up to screen, that Panzer IV would have survived, I think. 2 AT gunshots could have easily been fired during the course of that engagement. It's lazy micro. Really needed to get that thing moving. This pack tried to get in range, but it was too late. He moved his Sturm Pioneers to support with repairs and his Panzerschrecks to support with AT. He just didn't remember to get that thing going. And the Elephant couldn't quite get in position to fire a shot off either. A lot of tools the Axis had there to save that P4. But they just failed to execute. Meanwhile, the heavy mortars are just continuing to pound away at this area. One has been repurchased. This one's up to Vet 1. This one's fresh. So a lot of manpower being spent on those, but of course getting a great return on investment. They've just been annihilating this position all game long. That's the danger of going with a really aggressive truck placement in a 2v2 against even one Soviet player. Double Soviet is really dangerous, but even with just one Soviet player, if he decides to go any commander with ML-20, B4, heavy mortar, whatever it is, Katyusha even, that's not even doctrinal, then this aggressive truck placement just gets shut down if you can't field a proper solution to their artillery. The Stuka dive bomb is a nice solution. I see one coming in now. I don't know where though. Maybe on the pack howitzer. Lots of stuff is moving around. I don't know if that's really going to hit anything. No. There's the pack howitzer or whatever. Stuka dive bomb is one option against Soviet indirect fire. Another option is light tanks. The Panzer II is nice. Maybe Panzer IV if you can get in range. Or Ostwind. Indirect fire of your own is an option if you field a Stuka. Or just counterattacks by infantry, really successful counterattacks. I think the Axis would be in a lot stronger position right now if they could have just broken through and pushed through and taken out those mortars. Fallschirmjäger also help in that regard. But it can prove very difficult against allies that effectively defend against counterattack and are constantly doing their own attacking and applying lots of pressure. A lot of fresh assault engineers have been fielded. We haven't seen a single rifle squad all game, by the way. Pretty impressive by Rounce making all this progress without fielding a single rifle squad. His assault engineers going in hard. We do have a Stuka on the field, just got a lot of kills on something. 8 kills in the first barrage. Took out an AT gun right there. This one also almost goes down, but not successful in screening away the threats to this structure. That battle group headquarters will be destroyed. It's just a matter of time. Flamethrowers finish it off. Yag Tiger's down to half, being circle strafed by a lone T-34. Almost kidnapped by a T-34, which is why I think that King Tiger made a lot more sense in this situation than Yag Tiger did, especially when his teammate already has an Elephant. On the one hand, they are shutting down any allied armor from getting too aggressive, but on the other hand, they just are a little bit vulnerable to medium armor. Especially against Armor Company, if he masses like 6 M10s or something, I don't know what they're gonna do. Nice usage of the Ostwind here to take out that AT gun. M10 moves up to screen, but the Ostwind will clear that gun out. Allies taking control of the center victory point now. The Axis still have their heavy tanks. They've lost a lot of infantry, but their really chunky investments are still protected. They're not in too terrible a position as long as they can find a way to deal with the indirect fire and small amount of allied tanks. Just 2 T-34s and 1 M10 on the field. That's nothing for a Yag Tiger and Elephant to be able to deal with. That's no big deal at all. They should not be letting something like that happen. They need to be really careful to engage as cost effectively as possible and try and get some territory back. They're under a lot of pressure right now, having lost both of the flanks, having also pretty much lost the center, hesitantly taking it back with one squad and an Austrians here. They will be under heavy mortar fire every single time they make a push. But look how lightly defended these heavy mortars are. Honestly, all it takes is for that Ostwind to go in and just blast those things. The T-34s are a significant threat to the Ostwind, which means that the Elephant and Yag Tiger need to move up to support from the rear. If the Ostwind goes in hard on those heavy mortars to take it out, with the Yag Tiger positioned in this general area, maybe the Elephant somewhere, I don't know, maybe somewhere where it can support as well. Safely though, if it overextends, that's even worse. I think the Axis could probably find an opportunity against those heavy mortars, but at the same time, this isn't really the time for aggression. I can see why they would want to pull back, try and work the flanks. But they should be careful about splitting up. If they devolve this game into 2 1v1s on the flanks of the map, they'll probably just get taken out. Picked off. The Allies have generally better harassment and counter-harassment potential than the Axis do, especially when they have an early lead like this. The Allies are at a serious victory point disadvantage, though. The Axis have plenty of time in which to orchestrate a comeback here. And a Stuka could certainly help in that regard as well. Pretty decent barrage right there. Clears an AT gun, gets a nice hit on those riflemen. Defenders will be forced to retreat. Ostwind takes a little damage. Pops a flamethrower over here, though. I think possibly wiping Assault Engineer Squad. I don't know, I missed it. Ostwind needs to receive some repairs. The Jagdtiger is making its way across back towards the center, I guess. Elephant still positioned here in the center. And those units are so defensive on this map because 2 victory points are way over here on these flanks. The only way that those tank destroyers can participate in engagements for the victory points is if they park way over here, and that's a really good way to lose a Jagdtiger to a medium armor swarm. But that being wow. That being said, I cannot scroll the camera at all. There we go. That was weird.
Stay close, and you might live through this. Okay, kid?
How did I even do that?
We're losing a capture point.
I don't even know how I got the camera over there. There it goes. Apparently there's a tiny little hole on this map that you can like look at and get stuck in.
Welcome to the death factory.
That's an interesting fact about this map. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the assault guns, heavy assault guns. The Elephant and Jagdtiger struggle to participate in engagements for the flanks because of the way shotwalkers are positioned over here. Left side flank a little easier. Elephant looks like it may be able to get shots off on the T-34 if it participates in defense of the left side victory point, but the right side victory point, I feel like that Jagdtiger would have to get very exposed to participate in any form of engagement over there. Ooh, look at this. What got decrewed? I don't even know. 3 M10s, okay. 3 M10s have been decrewed in the Allied base. Rounce really likes short-range assault infantry this game, utilizing only Thompson-equipped vehicle crews and flamethrower assault engineers, possibly because of the existence of a Jagdtiger and an Elephant on the field. He doesn't feel comfortable trying to engage with tanks. So instead he's just charging in with vehicle crews equipped with Thompsons. He's not going to be able to make too much happen with that. Ostwind working on him though. Those 2 squads forced to retreat already. Flamethrower assault engineers moving up here in short range to engage. Ooh, that heavy mortar just annihilated them. So quick, flamethrowers finish off the squad. Katyusha has been fielded so much indirect fire from the Soviet player. There's just no surviving this game if the Axis don't field a solution to that. The Ostwind is their best hope. Look how this is basically completely undefended. He needs to go in and kill these things. Stupid dive bomb, I think. No, misheard. T-34 going in behind, going to get both of these heavy assault guns to try and circle around. They're not going to rotate quickly enough. There's the Panzerfaust damaging the engine. And the Stuka knows it will not survive, so instead it moves to simply block pathing. Elephant gets a shot off, Jagdtiger will get a shot off, and it goes down. If only his teammate had coordinated that assault. 4 M10s going in on this in conjunction. I mean, look how successful 1 T-34 was. 4 M10s going in on that would probably be GG. Should have waited for support from his teammate, not to mention he has another T-34 over here. 4 M10s plus 2 T-34s would have been the end of the game, I'm like 100% certain, based on what we just saw. Especially if he pulled off another flank like that to turn the assault guns backwards and then just did a frontal assault with the 4 M10s. Why wouldn't he recrew those though? He's got 4 M10s that he could make a huge play with. I understand that he's just massing M10s while he utilizes the vehicle crews in the meantime, just collecting M10s in his base, which is a pretty neat strategy, by the way. I think that's pretty cool. But at a certain point, I think you
M10 ready
can
for
just
action.
win the game. It's not really necessary to do this anymore. Maybe he wants to exhaust his fuel reserves first? I don't know. They're pretty cheap. They're only 80 fuel, so with 29 coming in, only so much you can do. Vehicle crews chase off that Panzer Fusilier squad. Assault engineers continue to work the center VP. Axis have like no infantry left. Not a single star of veterancy for Patrickzwang. Those are all fresh troops. No vet on those either. All fresh Panzer Fusiliers. At least he's got some G43 upgrades. He's gonna struggle to win this. Just massed flamethrowers and yellow cover. The Ostwind has to clear that out. I don't know why the Ostwind won't get a little more aggressive. The Allied anti-tank presence is basically zero until these M10s get crewed. Which I'm hoping will happen soon. I don't think he's lost any full vehicle crews. He's got 4. I guess, yeah, he's got 5 vehicle crews and 5 M10s, so he's can easily crew all of those. And I think he should. And as long as he doesn't make a frontal assault while the assault guns are pointed toward him, he should be able to kill everything here. Almost no anti-tank remains for the Axis at all, besides those heavy assault guns. Except for a Panzer IV.
Our brave infantry is dying.
Heavy mortars and back howitzer and Katyusha seem to be in all the anti-infantry the Allies even need.
75 points.
Only 75 points remain for the Axis. If they don't stop the clock, they're not going to win this game. All M10s have been recrewed. This could be a decisive engagement coming up. Axis making a last-ditch attempt for the center VP and are slowly getting it under control with Panzer Fusilier support. One T-34 will be sufficient to defend the right side against the lone harassment squad of Pios. Ostwind and Panzer IV looking for an opportunity against those indirect fire weapons, and all the M10s are slowly working their way up the left side. He stopped movement though for some reason. He might be waiting for his teammates' support. Might just be microwaving something else right now, I don't know. Panzer IV and Ostwind moving up the right side to try and support against that T-34, pushing away one squad of conscripts. I don't know if there are any mines available in the area. Doesn't look like it, mostly demo charges over here. M10s have all been decrewed again. Oh, I think he wanted to get another M10 on the field before making the next big assault. He was probably pop-capped? I assume, I don't know, I'm not sure.
The situation is becoming critical.
Flag half-track set up in the center to slow the loss of victory points, and an MG42. Interesting late-game purchases here to try and hold on to some territory. And center VP will hold for now. Rounce still just kind of sitting over here with these M10s.
Arrived from the fatherland.
Ostwind is finally making an aggressive maneuver against these heavy mortars, something he should have done 20 minutes ago. M10s have all been recruited, and they are going to make a frontal assault, something they should not do. Fortunately, the Jagdtiger is way out of position for this push. That Ostwind instantly destroyed. Elephant hits one M10. M10s are going to disengage. I would just commit. I would just commit. Just commit to a big push. T-34s catch a Panzer IV out of position. That was way too overextended. It's going to go down. Recon pass from the Axis will provide vision of these M10s. The Jagdtiger is trying to move to defend the center. The right side flank is now completely undefended. And T-34s are making their way over there to get that under control. Neither one of them is Vet 1 yet, so they cannot capture the point. The demo charge over here has wiped another squad of something.
The enemy is down to 75 points.
And I think we're going to see a decisive push by 7 M10s. 7 M10s. Stuka dive bomb being dropped somewhere over here.
We must
Unfortunately on that mortar instead of this one. That could have been devastating. Here they come. 7 M10s making a big final push. What is that elephant doing? It turned itself backwards for this push to a T-3485 and dies in almost one volley. The Jagdtiger is going to be next. There is a Panther on the field. 1 M10 goes down. Jagdtiger's just going to get stun locked to death. They could probably kill this from the front with this sheer quantity of M10s. So many medium tank destroyers just outproducing the Axis at this point. That Panther's already down to half. Jagdtiger is bouncing a ton of M10 shots. M10s will circle around behind to try and get some more rear armor hits. And those M10s just cleaned up like it was nothing. Again, Panther also destroyed. I feel that the American could have made this push with like 4 M10s with his teammates' support ages ago and sealed the game. Waited until he really absolutely could not possibly lose that engagement, even engaging frontally. And that is the game. I would say that indirect fire is pretty much the name of the game on this map. It seems quite difficult to counter, especially due to some nice demo charge placement by the Soviets. That Katyusha also took its toll. Only 5 kills. I was expecting... Maybe there was just nothing left for the Katyusha to shoot at after a certain point. A couple heavy mortars were killed by Stuka dive bombs, but he wasn't able to mass enough munitions to apply proper pressure to those heavy mortars, and eventually victory points just ran out, and M10s made a pretty fun appearance. We also saw some interesting usage of vehicle crews this game. I like the idea of massing M10s in your base and utilizing vehicle crews in the meantime to contribute usefully in infantry engagements while you're still accruing a critical mass of M10s. That's a pretty fun feature of Armor Company that lets you have combat-capable squads in the field while you're building up your tank army. So that was a pretty cool move by Rounce. We had a lot of opportunities by Rounce earlier in the game to destroy over Commando West trucks in production, and I would like to see him capitalize on those more. And the Axis had a lot of areas in which they could improve, in particular their build decisions. I did not think synergized very well. I don't think Jagdtiger and Elephant really makes any sense. They needed a King Tiger, something with a little more aggressive power to work the flanks of the map and alleviate victory point pressure. So, a few areas for improvement for both sides. Good game. Allies win.